Welcome back to Nick in Detail. I'm Nick, and in today's video, we're going to be previewing the Broncos and Warriors game, which takes place in Brisbane tonight. In this video, I'll give my thoughts on the upcoming game, who will be the one to watch, and then give my prediction for how this match will go. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. The Warriors are back on the road tonight. They head to Brisbane to Suncorp Stadium to take on the Broncos. The Broncos, of course, last season's NRL title holders, but they have been very disappointing this year. They sit second to bottom, while the Warriors, of course, coming off back-to-back wins, including that big win over the now second place Penrith Panthers. The Warriors very much the favourites heading into tonight's matchup. But let's give my thoughts on this upcoming game. This should be a relatively comfortable showing for the Warriors tonight. I say that because both these teams are in completely different positions on the table. The Warriors, of course, currently sit third, and a chance for them to actually be tied on points with the second place Panthers. And if they get a big win tonight, they can even get ahead of the Panthers into second and be 2 points behind the Roosters. The Roosters, of course, now top of the table after beating the Panthers the other night. And of course, the Roosters haven't been unbeaten in their last 9 games, are very much on a high at the moment. The Broncos, they've lost their last 3 games, including last week being pipped by their rival crosstown team, the Redcliffe Dolphins, and they've been very disappointing this year. They've just not got firing this year. And this is considering this is the team that is the current NRL champions. I think it's the first NRL championship team in quite some time that's not even fighting in the top half of the table. But in Suncorp Stadium tonight, obviously different conditions, of course, different atmosphere. It could be also an interesting matchup, I think, based on form and the way that Warriors team stood up to the Panthers last weekend. I certainly think the Warriors will win this one comfortably. But in saying that, in Brisbane, you never know. The Broncos will have a point to prove as well. They actually didn't look too bad against the Dolphins last week. I think we're unlucky to probably not get a result against them, but they just not really clicked this year. And for them, they'll be wanting to put on a point that, yes, we're not been performing well this year, but we've certainly got a top quality side as well. So this game could also bring an interesting matchup to it as well. So for me, who is going to be the one to watch? Well, the one who was a man of the match last week in what was his first game in like 4 months, Luke Metcalf. Once again, starting in the number 7 jersey tonight, Timani Martin still out injured with that hamstring injury that left him to withdraw from last week's game the morning of kickoff. But yes, Luke Metcalf for me, the one to watch. Just played outstanding last week, man of the match as well. And just every time he got the ball, you just felt something was going to happen. Very much the old Luke Metcalf we've known so well over these last couple of years. And yes, for me, just why that's going to have a big part in this game tonight. Obviously, very much heading into his final few games as a Warriors player. Remember, 3 games in the regular season before the NRL finals kickoff. And yeah, for me, Luke Metcalf wanting to go out there, prove a point that he's still got the quality that we all know he has. And of course, we know, of course, off to the Dragons from next year. Very much wanting to show his new club as well that he's very much got the qualities that we've all known Luke Metcalf to have. But of course, that try, the 2 assists as well, although you could argue that second assist, of course, didn't really come from him, but still, despite that, played a big part in that try last week. But yes, for me, Luke Metcalf's going to have a big influence on this game. And for me, I'm expecting another big performance from the Warrior halfback. So for me, Luke Metcalf, the one to watch for tonight's game. So what is my prediction for this game? Well, I said it earlier, I expect the Warriors to win this one comfortably. Of course, the last time these 2 teams met was back in May, where the Warriors thrashed the Broncos in Auckland 42-12. And I expect a similar sort of result, except I'm probably not going to go for a 30-point scoreline. I'm going to go a little bit less, being that this game is in Brisbane, different altitude, of course, different conditions, different atmosphere. I'm going to say the Warriors are going to win this one by 20. It'll still be a comfortable result. The Warriors, I don't think will have any trouble shaking off this Brisbane Broncos team, but I don't believe it's going to be probably as comfortable as they had it in Auckland back in May. So for me, the Warriors are going to win this one, but I'm going to say by 20 points. So that's going to be it for me. Yeah, another big game for the Warriors tonight, considering how close that top 3 is. And of course, we're heading into the last 3 rounds of the regular season. And of course, the Warriors only about 4 points off the top of the table. Roosters a couple of points off the Panthers, even though they're of course about 20 points behind on points difference. If they get a big result tonight, they can get ahead of the Panthers, while the Broncos, of course, who sit second to bottom at the moment, if they get a good result tonight, they can actually get as high as 13th and very much lift them off second to the bottom of the ladder. Of course, what's been a very disappointing year for the NRL champions. So nonetheless, actually, this game could be very interesting and could put these 2 teams in different scenarios. scenarios depending on which way this result swings tonight. But from me, that's going to be it. And until next time, I'll see you later.